This conference will now be recorded.
Dana Jen, you're muted.
There. We're recording, unmuted, ready to roll. So I'm Dan Digman. I've been diagnosed with MS for 22 years. I live in Michigan with Jennifer, and I'm on Ocrevus.
And I'm Jennifer Digman. I've been diagnosed with MS going on 25 years. I take Rituxan, and yeah, that's my story. So I will go up to, well, Karen is down. Karen, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm kind of down. Can you hear me?
I can hear you absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just like gonna take a little cat nap and hopefully if I start snoring, someone can mute me. But um, yeah, I'm Karen and I'm in Oakland, California, and I've been diagnosed since 2019 with primary progressive MS. No cure, no treatments for me. I'm just, as Frank would say, living on sunshine.
Okay. And hi, Lisa.
Hi, I'm trying to get my camera to work. Sorry, guys, I'm not computer literate, and this happens to me all the time. So this is my first time here. Hopefully, you guys will see my face momentarily.
No rush.
Well, you sound perfect.
Thank you. That part, there's never an issue. It's always the video portion. I'm trying, but thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Where are you from, Lisa?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know if we were still on me. My name is Lisa. I live in the Poconos in East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh.
Nice.
I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting MS 16 years ago, and I currently live alone. Just went through a breakup with a partner that I was with for 5 years, so I am alone. I am attempting to pack up my house because I am moving October 1st. My house is under contract. And I will hopefully move closer to my daughter, who is overseas right now, but will be coming back and moving possibly Virginia, North Carolina, somewhere. So I'll be with them, she and her boyfriend. Yeah, life has not been easy. My biggest MS issue is that I cannot feel my hands. And it's gotten to the point of where like I can't lift things up and walk. I do ambulate with a cane. It seems like my MS has gotten worse over the past few years. 3 years ago, I had back surgery due to scoliosis as a child. I wore a back brace and all that good stuff. And then as an adult, my spine continued to curve and I had 11 vertebrae fused in my spine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Well, thank
it's
you.
tough.
Yeah, well, thank you for joining us
Thanks
tonight.
for having me.
Yeah, and hopefully after we do introduction, if there's anything, if there's anything you want to talk about tonight, we'll go through and we'll introduce the group. And if you would like to say anything, just feel free.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No problem. And Karen, if there's anything you want to talk about, just let us know, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, you all moved. So, Kim, you're in a different spot. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Kim. I live in Des Moines, Iowa. I have relapsing remitting. I'm on Ocrevus. Diagnosed, it'll be 10 years in October, and I would like some time tonight to talk.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. And hi, Louie. How are you? You are on mute.
Sorry, I'm using my phone.
No problem.
Um, I am good. Oh, okay. It's been a long day. So I'm on Ocrevus, and I live in San Antonio, Texas. I've had relapsing remitting for I don't know how long, but I was diagnosed in November last year. And
Yeah. Well, thank you. Did you need any time to talk tonight?
oh, I am good, thank you.
Okay. It's good to see you.
You too, y'all too.
Thank
I'm actually on vacation, but I wanted to see you guys.
Yay.
So yeah.
Yay. Okay, now I'll move over on my crazy screen. Andrea, how are you doing tonight?
Hi, I'm I'm tuckered tonight. I feel like I should be laying down like Karen. So I hope I don't doze off on you. I was diagnosed in 2011, 2012, somewhere in there. I'm on Bafir-Tam. I live in North Carolina. I don't need any time tonight. Thanks.
Okay, yeah. And Tim, shooting over to you.
Okay, I'll try to do this in my best podcasting voice and sound like Dan, but I'm just
Yay.
I'm not using my big microphone tonight. I've been using my microphone all week. Um, hey, everybody, I'm Tim. I live in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Let's see here. I'm on Abagio, but
Yay.
maybe not for too long. Yeah, there's my Abagio, pal. Um, like I said, it may not be on that too long. We're playing around with some things. I have what's called CIS, so I'm everyone's little stepbrother, a little redheaded stepchild or something like that, which is clinically isolated syndrome. But I've been getting some having brain fart. I have been getting some flare-ups past couple of months, but we're gonna rock it out and do what we can do and have fun with it. And I don't need any time. I'm golden though. Thank you.
Okay. And now I will go above you on my screen. Frank, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing just fine. I'm Frank Austin. I'm in central Kansas. I've been living with MS for 25 years. Diagnosed. It's been longer than that, but been diagnosed since 1997. I'm on vitamin D and I get it all from the sun. And I'm fine and I don't need any time tonight at all. I'm here to listen.
Okay. And now I will go over to John. How are you tonight?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Like Jennifer said, I'm John, and I also come from Michigan, and
Go
I was
blue.
woohoo, and
Okay.
I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis on August 9th, 2016. So today is my 6-year anniversary, and I can't think of any
Yay.
better people to hang out with than all of you.
Okay.
I'm on Zeposia, and I do need a little bit of time tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Absolutely. And Mike, hi, welcome to the group.
Hi, this is my first time. My name's Mike, and I live in Denver, Colorado. Um, I am relapsing, remitting, currently on Tecfidera, and I don't think I need any time tonight. It's my first time at this group, so I just wanted to check it out and probably just listen and see what's going on.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And thanks. And now I'm going to spin over to the other Jennifer. Hi, Jen. How are you doing?
Well, I finally did not, like, I've been forgetting
the meetings, and like at 10 o'clock at night, or not 10 o'clock at night, probably at midnight, I'm like, oh shit, I forgot again. So this time I set my alarm.
Yay!
And
Nice.
plus my MA she reminded me now, so that's great. But I'm Jennifer. I'm from Richmond, Indiana. I've been diagnosed since April of 2019, but I was having major flare-ups and I was pretending nothing was wrong because I was too busy working. I'm on Evusheld. It's bougie, I know. Thank you. I don't think I need time tonight. I don't know.
Okay. And now, Victoria, it's nice to meet you. You're on mute.
Group. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hi, everybody. My name is Victoria. I'm from San Jose, California. First time to join you. I was diagnosed in 97. It'll be 25 years, sorry. And I'm very emotional, sorry. Anyways, I was diagnosed in 97, so this September will be 25 years. I was diagnosed with relapsing remitting MS. Some flare-ups in the beginning, but they would go away for a couple of years at a time maybe, and come back for 3 or 4 weeks. And I had optic neuritis twice, a lot of numbness on my foot. Now my right foot used to drag and then it wouldn't for years. And I retired 8 years ago from the grocery industry. And about around that time, I was kind of stressed out. It started to come back on me, so I guess it was like progressing. So I'll be quiet now and I'll let somebody else have another turn. Thank you.
Victoria, is there anything that, like, do you need time to talk tonight, or do you just want to listen and get your bearings, get to know us all?
Well, I'm new at this and it's like kind of confusing, but I actually got you guys a long time. I tried last meeting and I couldn't get on there. So yes, I had like a few things to talk about. Sure.
Okay, well, I'm glad you're here and you connected with us tonight. And Lisa, we can see you. Yay!
Hey,
Yay!
I got it to work.
Yay! That's
Hello,
good.
everybody.
Hello.
Nice.
Okay.
Hi.
All right, Miss Kim, do you want to go ahead and talk with us with what you need to talk about?
Sure, it's not too long. It's just I'm supposed to have my infusion for Ocrevus this week on Friday, and they called me, and so I have my Ocrevus infusion back in February. So nothing has changed since February to now. So they called me Friday, the end of Friday after 4:30 last week, and they're like, they want us to run it through Blue Cross Blue Shield and do the patient assistance program. And I said, I have Medicare, that is illegal. So if you have government insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, TRICARE, you can't use a patient assistance program. So I'm on the foundation program, so they give me the drug for free. So they call me tonight after 4:30. So this is what, 3 days before my infusion. They're like, okay, so the reason if we get the free drug, we don't make any money. So can we run it through your insurance? Medicare doesn't cover it, but Blue Cross Blue Shield does. That's my secondary. And I'm like, well, is it gonna cost me anything? And she's like, yeah, I think I think you've maxed out. I'm like, are you sure about that? Because I don't remember spending $4,000 out of pocket this year on myself. And she's like, let me on that. I'm like, yeah. So I called my doctor's office, 5 till 5. And I'm just like, am I going to be able to get this drug through the foundation here, or is there going to be a problem? So I'm just a little frustrated because everything has been smoothed out. And right before I'm supposed to have the infusion, they start calling me going, yeah, there's a problem. And I'm like, why are you doing this last minute? The infusion place is amazing. The corporate, I think they're awful. So they're not local, the corporate office. But anyway, that was just my little frustration. I thought I had all the wheels greased, and so I may or may not be getting my infusion on Friday. I might be scrambling. It is fine. I feel great. I'm not like going through the crap gap or anything like that. But just the emotion, I just wasn't ready for that. Especially I had a really hard day where I hardly got any sleep, and then I had to break up a dog fight, and then they called me about my infusion today. So, and I'm not talking a lot tonight because my cough has come back really bad. So I didn't want to be like coughing in everyone's ear. I figure you guys appreciate that. So that's just it. So other than that, I'm doing well. I've had some other great things happening too, but
Yeah.
that was my one MS frustration. So
And Rick looks like he wants to say something.
Yeah, I'm not certain about what you said about Medicare, Kim, because we've got a bunch of guys who are on patients assistance programs who are on Medicare. Or
actually, that's not.
with Pfizer.
They do a different program. So patient assistance program is based on just normal insurance. You can do like the foundation program, so it's more like a donation. They don't charge you for the drug; they just give you the drug, but they can't cut down the cost of what you pay through insurance. That is illegal. They cannot give a financial incentive for you to use a certain medication. So when you work at the
Right.
pharmacy, and back in the day, I don't know if they still do it, the doctor would be like, your copay is $40 with this, voucher, go to the pharmacy. And then the pharmacist is like, you're on Medicare, you can't use that, that's illegal. And then they're like, but my doctor said. Anyway.
No, she's absolutely right. Been there, done that.
Yeah, they tried to send me another patient assistance card in the mail like a month ago. So I call them like, I have Medicare, right? Oh, okay, yeah, just get rid of that card. Yeah, because I'm like, last time I knew this was illegal. And they're like, yeah, you can't use it. Okay, all right, just checking. But am I still good for the foundation program? Oh, yeah, you're still good. Okay, just checking. So.
Okay, yeah, it may be that they are getting it through the foundation program, but then we've got other people that are getting drugs, and they're not paying for them at all. They're on Medicare and they're getting
it for free. Yeah, they're sending
yes.
it. The drug company's sending it to
Yes.
them for free. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But they can't give
Yes.
it to it as a discount. That's the patient assistance
Okay.
program. That is
Okay.
illegal.
Okay, Miss Pharmacist.
Used to be.
Miss Ex-Pharmacist.
That's right.
Wow. And that's the frustration you probably least want to deal with right before you're supposed to have your infusion.
Well, you just have, like, you guys know, you get into this frame of mind and you have it set and, okay, Friday, this is what's happening. And I mean, the fusion is a lot better than it used to be, because it used to be like take from when you show up to leave about 7.5 hours. They've busted that down to like 3.5, I think, if you decide to stay the hour to just make sure you don't have a reaction. So it's really fast now. So that's great. But it's just like the frustration. It's not like a drug that, they did try to charge my Blue Cross Blue Shield in February, so I got to see the price. It used to be $124,000. They bumped it up to $128,000, and that's twice a year. So that's like $250,000 for a drug. And I just don't have the cost of my house sitting around if something like goofs up. It's just like, oh, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to pay for that out of pocket. We thought that was covered. I'm just like, I don't have $128,000 sitting around to just pay for it. So.
Well, that was interesting, Kim, because I had my Ocrevus infusion, and as activists, we go around and as we're talking about lowering prescription drug prices and saying that the annual cost for Ocrevus is over $100,000. Well, then I got the statement from the infusion center of how much the actual cost for the Ocrevus was, and it was like $102,000. And to my head, I'm like, but that was just for one infusion. That being said, if I have to do that twice a year, it's like over 200,000 a year for my MS medicine. And so I'm asking places and stuff of how, and I went to like MS activists, like within the MS Society, to say, where are they getting the $100,000? To which they said that the infusion centers can charge extra money. That's like talking thousands to tens of thousands of dollars for the infusion. So they're getting, so then it's just like, yeah, how do we even do, how do we do that? So yeah, I wish, okay, and I guess last question then, you've been on Ocrevus for a while. Why has this become an issue all of a sudden here on the 9th day of August?
Well, I got onto Medicare in November,
Okay,
so
all right.
that's still new. But I already had my infusion in February on Medicare. But the question about the price is very interesting because on the insurance, not my Blue Heart Shield, the other one, they forced me out of the hospital infusion center into the outpatient infusion center because it was cheaper. And that infusion went down in price, but the next month, then it shot back up to hospital prices,
Oh,
which was
wow.
very interesting. If you go back and look at my statements and how much they charged me, it dropped down quite a bit. I don't know, maybe it was like 80,000 or something, but then it shot back up to like 124, like the next one. It's very, very interesting. Very interesting.
Wow.
Yeah,
And now
that's
they're
awesome.
saying we can't make any money. If we're not charging the insurance company, we get the drug for free. We can't make any money off of you if we get your infusion. I was just like, something feels kind of off here.
That seems a
Yeah.
little sketchy.
Yeah.
Seems kind of, wrong. I mean, I am getting like the infusion of the Solumedrol. I'm getting, Tylenol. I'm getting Benadryl, and they're paying. Yeah, I have to pay for the cost of the actual nursing staff and the actual infusion, all the stuff outside of just the drug. And like, no, we can't make money, and it's just like, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong. This just seems so wrong. So I will find out later this week what happens, and if I have to go back to the hospital or find a new place, or if they're like, okay, you got to do inpatient now. I'm like, if I need to shove it up my own vein, I guess I'll do it. I'm not trained to do that, but I'll do it. If I have to have a traveling nurse, or because that does happen, where the traveling nurse has to come and babysit me in my house for 3.5 hours, and I have to be careful, like, I have dogs, cats, hope you don't have allergies. I got to clean my house up a little bit so I'm not totally embarrassed while you're sitting in my house, so you're not getting the fur on you, but it's just,
They say they don't care, but they're judgy a little bit. Because I would be if I was in the same position.
Yeah. Good luck, Kim.
thank you.
Interested to hear how it turns out.
We'll figure out what happens, but I just can't believe it. They like wait down to the wire to like start talking to me.
Yeah.
So it's like nothing has changed since November. Everything's been the same. Anyway,
Wow.
thank you for letting me vent a little bit on that frustration.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And John, how about you? What did you want to talk about?
A couple things. Like the first big one is that I went to my 25-year class reunion on Friday, and I had a really good time. And it was exciting to see that out of the 4 people in my graduating class of 106, 2 of us were able to make it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, my senior class, 106, 4 of us have MS. One has passed away. Many of my friends from high schools, like kids, have like onset arthritis when they're a kid, and like cancers and stuff. If anyone knows Michigan at all, I grew up on the Saginaw River, basically, which was downflow, and all that kind of stuff. But listen, it was a great time. I had a really good time.
That's
You know,
good.
saw people I've known since preschool. And that was just like old times. And the best part was I didn't have to move around much. I could stay in my chair and everyone came to me. So, Melissa, my wife, thinks I'm some kind of mafia member now because everyone's coming over our table to pay tribute to me. Um, and also, I quit my job of being a geologist because the mental strain and the stress that was causing me so much anxiety to the point where my physical health was suffering. It's not worth it. Yeah, I've got the degree in geology and I want to be a geologist, but that job just wasn't right for me anymore. And there's never really too much geology involved anyway. So that felt really freeing, to be able to do that for myself. And when it was announced to the team, like I got so many like snaps and messages like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like, I'm doing this for me,
Now,
because of,
how's
because
it feel
oh, good.
emotionally?
If I had work today, I would not have been able to walk with my walker from the couch into my office to the bathroom. Like I've been up all day. I may have walked 200 feet today, which is gigantic for me. Um, so it was tough. I had to quit my geology job, what I was so proud of. But you know what? It's better than the alternative. When your wife says, I miss John, I know that was getting bad, you know? And the worst part was that my boss, like the project manager, is actually a really good friend of mine. I wanted to tell her face to face, but she didn't respond to texts and emails and stuff, so that sucks. I'm sorry. But my resignation letter was not too brutal, but I worded it gently enough that I burned any bridges.
Yeah. And does that, like, emotionally, are you thinking about going back into geology? No.
Oh, I would love to go into geology, but not just the data entry that it was like me and then a bunch of undergrads doing.
Okay.
I'm super overqualified for that job. I was told during my interview, but it was the only thing that I thought I could land. Um, but I still have my other job, um, which I guess they said to me today, like John left us to go work for big pharma. Like, okay, like I guess, I mean, just staying home and doing my thing. But it was just funny that they said it that way. Not
Yeah.
John quit out of frustration and anger with many of us. Like today, I still got messages from a dude saying, "Hey, can you re-record all these things for the YouTube channel?" Like, no, I cannot, and I will not. You know, find someone that sounds like me.
Yeah.
And then also today being the 6th anniversary of being diagnosed with MS, which is not the worst thing that's ever happened to me on this date. 8 years ago, I met my future wife, Melissa.
Wow.
Not a bad thing. I love her to death.
Yeah.
And then 10 years ago, today, I quit being a high school teacher. So my time hop was real interesting this morning, going through my Facebook memories of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So even though I've been diagnosed for 6 years, I'm still a Forrest Gump of my peer group because all this just weird crap happens to me all the time. Like I got a photo with Joey Chestnut, the hot dog eating champion of the world. He's won like 14 years in a row or something. I got a picture of him with his championship belt. I was at a baseball game in St. Louis,
Uh,
and I was like, "Oh, wait, he has his belt with him. That's got to be him. So I've done some really cool things since diagnosis, but today is what it is.
Today is what it is.
So it's been some good things in the past week.
Yeah. Glad that you're here with us tonight.
Yeah.
Celebrating your 6th anniversary.
Well, sometimes Melissa pushes me to come because she wants some quiet to watch a cards game or something. You know, I kind of like the Cardinals by default, but it ruins my Tigers' heart. You know.
Yeah.
So
Go Cubs. Oh,
what was that, Jennifer?
go Cubs. Sorry about that. Yeah.
Are they still a team this year?
You know what? I'm gonna mute you. Can I mute you?
Uh-huh. I think they have a worse record than the Tigers.
You know what? I'm just not gonna listen. I can't hear you.
I can't hear you.
I just want to say that the only professional baseball games I've ever seen were the Tigers, and I've been like 2 or 3 times. Of course, it was 30 plus years ago, but still.
Yeah.
They were probably good.
Yeah, 37 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them in 1984 when they won the World Series that year. I mean, I was 4.5, but I was there.
Right.
So that's all that I have to say for tonight. Thank you for your time, guys.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
I wanted to say, John, I'm so proud of you of making that decision, because that decision is so hard to make. But you, it sounds like, made the best decision for you. And it's going to take you a while to recalibrate, but you will make it through the end. And I just
Oh yeah.
because 6 years ago, I went through the same thing. I had to quit pharmacy. I couldn't do it. And a lot of my self-worth and my skills, it felt like a lot of things that I depended on were taken away from me. And it's taken me 6 years to get through that and get to know I am still worthy. I still, I'm important, the whole being versus doing. And I want you to know your journey is not easy, but you will get to an amazing place. Your resiliency is I know
Yeah.
you're a very strong person.
Well, we all
And
are.
yes, we all are. And I just wanted to just reinforce, it's hard, but at the same time, it opens up these new doors for you and these new things. And like you said, you weren't just talking about the negative, but the positive, I met my wife, the same day, and all these
Yeah.
things. And that's what you're going to find out. I know. And in a session, a while back ago, I talked about, the positives of MS, and some people thought I was kind of crazy, but you get to a point where your mind changes and you just kind of remorph. And we do talk about, I'm sorry, I'm going to do a little plug here, but we are talking about, I think it's August 31st on Wednesday, we're having a gal, we're going to talk about MS and mental health, and I think it's going to be fabulous. So if anyone wants to show up for that, that's 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's Wednesday. I think that's August 31st. August 31st.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah, I'm just so proud that you were so. When you say that, I just feel how much courage and how brave it was, and you realizing, knowing the best step to take, and even though it's hard, you took it anyway, and that says a lot.
That's what I got to do,
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
And if you ever need anyone to talk to, you get a hold of me, right? All right.
Yeah.
And John, I think Louie is a big supporter of you quitting your job as well.
Yeah.
Which is a good segue, because I know some of you are shooting messages back and forth. There's a chat going on simultaneously. And I'm an old fart with very little hand movement. So it's not that I don't want to chat back, but I talk. I don't type, but I encourage you to chat. And yeah. And so, and then Victoria, I know John just shared some real emotional things. I don't know. Victoria, I know you wanted to share some of your story. Do you want to talk? You're off mute, but your camera is gone.
Okay, thank you. I'm so new at this, and I have such an old phone too. Um, anyway, yes, I just wanted to say I was diagnosed 25 years ago, and it was relapsing remitting. And at first, you know, I went to the neurologist, and she told me after all the tests and things, she said, "You have relapsing remitting multiple sclerosis." And I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "Is that what a net funicello has?" And she said, "Who's a net funicello?" And I went, "Okay." And she didn't offer me a tissue or anything. I went to my car crying, didn't know what to do, called mom and dad, and they happened to be near the Multiple Sclerosis Society in Santa Clara, and they stopped in there for 3 hours, and they came home and told me all about what MS was. So anyway, I've always been a ham, and I worked in the grocery business for 30 years, and of course that was hard, you know, ringing up the items on the register or putting produce out, you know, as I was getting weak in the right-handed. But I just wanted to let everybody know that's newly diagnosed and things. Don't get down too much. And in the beginning, when I got the newsletters for MS, it went right in my shredder because I don't have MS. And every time I would tell somebody, "Oh, I have MS," my mom said, "Well, don't tell me you have MS. You say that you're diagnosed with it, don't claim it." And I said, "Well, that's easier said than done, but I do a lot of praying, and I'm so I just have to say any drugs except, well, I'm sorry, I tried Rituxan, which is a prostate cancer drug, and it seemed to work for people with relapsing remitting MS. So I did that maybe 6 times, and I stopped like 3 years ago because I said I don't feel any different. I know it's supposed to help stop the progression of it. It's not supposed to cure it, but um, I do smoke, and I drink caffeine, and I live on sugar and chocolate candy, and I walk my dog as much as I can, but I've never wanted to take any drugs or anything for it. And so far, so good. I've never used a cane, a wheelchair, or a walker for 25 years. And just like the last 8 years, it's kind of got funky on me. But what it feels like is all the stuff that happened to me 25 years ago, that's the parts that are weak on me. And I just know in Jesus' name that I'm not going to get any worse. And I'm just going to keep on going and making people laugh. But I just wanted to say too, if anybody's having trouble tying their shoes and things like that, I found that like Skechers that are real lightweight, they work really great for me, and I could lift my drop foot higher. And I also was introduced to a rocker knife for one-handed cutting. You can get them online. Cut your meat. I went to a restaurant. I was like, "How am I going to cut this chicken?" And of course, my friends or whoever's with me always helped. So try to take that with you when you go. And I like to bake and cook. And I know that the bowls and mixing bowls and things over the years, like you used to be able to do it, but they're just too heavy. So at the dollar store, I got one of these pitchers here with a handle on it. It's plastic, has a rubber thing on the bottom so it doesn't slip. And I can do my cookies and things if I just prop this bowl right in the tight corner and use my good hand because now I'm left-handed. For the last 6 years, I became left-handed. I can do everything with my left now. So your body naturally accommodates for things that you can't do. And what else? I was going to ask if anybody ever experienced trigeminal neuralgia.
Uh,
It's a
yeah,
nerve that's in your brain by your ear, and
yeah.
it gives a shocking sensation. I've never been in any pain from MS at all, and I'm proud to say that. I didn't even know what trembling is or anything like that. But I did have that a couple times, and I have to tell you, it's the worst pain I ever felt. So it does go away after a while, a couple days, but it was, um, yeah, let's see. And the frustrating part that I'm having, I find like putting clothes on, and buttons, and zippers, and my fine motor skills are, I can do it with my left, but it's not real easy. So, um, but if anybody has any questions for me,
Yeah. I saw you shake your head, Lisa. Do you have like fine motor? Do you relate
Yeah,
to
it literally started like a year ago, and I feel like I am wearing gloves or oven mitts. Like my left side does not do what my right side does as far as my hands go. And I'm constantly like tapping and moving, and it's just a whole different dynamic feeling. I don't even know how to explain it. Like if I reach into a bag to pull something out, I can't actually do it unless I'm looking, because like my fingers won't grasp something, or like my fine motor skills. It's literally, I think MS, it has a lot to do with like the mental attitude of it. And like mentally, I'm not all strong. You know what I mean? Like I was diagnosed 16 years ago. I've been on antidepressants for 16 years, and I am here to say that living alone fucking sucks, because you get in your own head, and it's hard. It it's frustrating, and I know at some point we're supposed to accept this disease, but I feel like I talk to a therapist every week, and I said, listen, this whole damn MS thing is like you're going through the whatever it is, 5 or 7 stages of grief. You can't come to acceptance when every day it's something different.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You just like, it's so hard not to accept it, because I know I have this disease, and that's that. Like my neurologist says, like, well, we could try a different medication. For 10 years, I was on Copaxone injections. Then they put me on the one that was 3 times a week, and I guess I started having more relapses then. I met with a new neurologist who specializes in MS, and she put me on Tecfidera. So that's it. 16 years later, I'm like trying to tell this lady, I can't feel my freaking hands. Will a medicine change this? And she's just like oblivious to it. And I'm like, yeah, because you know what? You can use your hands. Like, I just feel like I have a chip on my shoulder and I'm pissed off all the time. Is honestly how I feel. But I love that there's other people that are like in my shoes. And I wish I would have found this a long time ago. And thanks to my therapist for finding this AnCan thing, because I looked for like local groups and there weren't any, thanks to like COVID. So as if you didn't feel like alone enough because of COVID, I literally am by myself 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like my sister came over yesterday to help move some boxes around, and I felt like Jesus was in the room with me. I was like, thank you, somebody being here.
Mhm.
I was a banker. I had like the most amazing outgoing personality, and I could turn it on, and the shittiest customers always came to me because I would make them smile. And like now I just feel like I've withered into like this miserable, like whatever, who doesn't leave the house because I'm scared of falling. I'm scared of this. I'm scared of that. Like it's just, and I hope that, like I said, my house is under contract. I'm selling it. Come up October 1st, I'm out of here. I'm hoping to move wherever my daughter is, which may be Virginia, North Carolina, whatever, and just to be around her or other people, because I feel like I'm losing my shit. The end. That's Lisa's story. I got a chip on my shoulder.
Well, I think a lot of us, Lisa, are like shaking our heads. We're like, come join us. We're chip on
Yeah,
the shoulder everywhere.
yeah,
One of
literally. I'm
us,
so
one
happy.
of us. Keeble gobble, one of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, honestly, Lisa, I'm surprised that I can sit up straight because I have such a big damn chip on my shoulder.
Yeah,
You know,
literally.
like, John, are you slouching? No, I just have this big chip.
Right. And I was forced to quit working 3 years ago in a job that I absolutely loved because I had to have this back surgery. I had tried to do the SSDI thing just with the MS alone, and it was denied the first time because I did the paperwork too early and I hadn't had the back surgery yet. So once it went back through the whole process of SSDI, and they saw that I then had from my bra strap down to my ass crack is one giant piece of metal. That's when they put me out on on Social Security disability. And that's really, I feel like, when I kind of lost my sense of self. Like, I loved working. I loved having a reason to like get up every morning. And honest to God, there's at 10, 11 o'clock, I don't get up in the morning. I'm like, screw it. I'll just lay in bed and watch TV. Like, no motivation to do anything. It's that whole like alone thing is just like, ugh. It's so
Yeah.
with me, it's more of a mental thing. It
Yeah.
really is.
Well, I'm glad that you found this group. I mean,
Yes.
we meet twice a month.
Yes.
So this time you've got your people
I'm so
and
excited. I'm so happy to meet all of you, and I embrace you all and to hear your stories and know that I'm not alone, and we'll take this shit on, and it's okay when you got a few friends with you, like it's not as bad.
yeah, and as Kim said, Mike, that event that's coming up August 31st, if you, Mike, gave someone your email address, we'll put you on a mailing list and we'll send you because Kim, correct? Alexa's putting together a flyer for the program on the 31st.
Yes, she is. And I spoke to the speaker today, and I got super excited about it.
Okay, and it sounds like this program would be good for you, Lisa. I think it would be good for all of us. And,
Yes. Did see
just
the
give us,
email, so absolutely.
yeah,
And we
good.
also, I'm just skip that in for just a second. It's not just the main speaker too. Carly used to be a moderator. She has MS. She went into becoming a mental health care provider. So we'll get actually both sides from her,
Nice.
living with MS and actually helping people with mental health, which I will think will be amazing too. So come August 31st, it's going to be really interesting. Come with your questions. We will bombard them with all our questions. And if no one asks questions, then I will be bombarding them with questions. So,
When I've worked at the mental health field for 20 years, almost 20 years. And when I got diagnosed, I was a mess. I was a mess. And I did good to a therapist because, I preach it. I was like, oh, might as well just try it. That helped me out a lot. And my antidepressants, they're right on target. And but it's it's a constant up and down still. Like, I loved going out and and talking about addiction, about like anything. And when we had like table setups and stuff at like a health fair or whatever, like I know I talked about this, but like the heat, I could not do it. So I
Yeah.
just sat there and shook because I had the like inner tremors. I had brain like fog. I couldn't think of what I was doing. And I'm pissed, and I understand that anger because, I've done this for so long, and I was pissed because why did this fucking happen to me? Why did this happen? I have no clue. Like, what did I do wrong? Like, I was definitely, I was going through the grief, and I'm still pissed. but I, when I did write my letter to the last place I was, it was kind of that last day, John. It was it was kind of a release of stress. Like, I mean, my new job's stressful, but it's at my own pace, which is really good. It's, I got on, or I, not with just Wayne County where I am from, but I also spread to 6 other counties and doing the fetal infant mortality. But it's again at my pace, and I'm just going to do the best I can. So, but I understand that anger because was it last Saturday I went and worked in the heat for I got to an hour. And I was in the shade though, so that helped. And then next year, John, is my 25th reunion, so I'll make it. That's all I gotta say.
Children.
Hey, some of my classmates have grandkids. So, like,
I don't. No.
Yeah. Oh, I went to a Catholic high school. It was marry your high school sweetheart, breed a half dozen out, wash, rinse, repeat.
Did you go to Nouvelle?
I did.
Okay, I just because I think I knew that, but then when you were saying you graduated from Saginaw, I was like, where, dude? And then you said Catholic. I was like, oh, I bet Nouvelle. So okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, wow. Okay. Attention. Yeah. Okay.
I made the mistake. I opened up the chat box and I distracted Jennifer. So
I don't know if any of you living with MS have the same problem where I can look at you and we can have a conversation, but as soon as I see something else, it like all my attention. I just can't multitask. I can't even double task. It's like focus. Yeah. I see you guys shaking your head. You get it.
I
And
get it.
sometimes it gets so bad that, like, I am so focused on what I'm doing that if Melissa walks in, she can say something very important to me, like, hey, the dogs are on fire. And I won't hear a thing. I have no recollection of her coming in the room. So it's a lot of, huh?
and do you get it? And for me, I'm doing something, and this is what I have in my mind. This is what I'm doing. Jennifer asks for something that would make it easier and stuff, or to do something right there. And I'm like, but no, I have to finish this first. I can't leave this undone. I don't know if that's MS or just there's some other sort of thing that I have.
I just need to focus on one thing. And sometimes, like, just staring at my monitor, I want to, like, get rid of all excess, like, input. Like, I got
Yes.
my headphones on, but no music, just quieting down.
Yeah. That is
Can
something.
I, yeah, I'll chime in on that. I
Hey,
like
Karen.
naps. My naps are, I guess I fell asleep. I hope I wasn't snoring. And then I was like, what did John do? What did John do? And then finally someone said, he quit his job. I was like, oh, okay, that's what I thought. So I really did fall asleep. I just needed, like, I've been doing these power naps because I just can't do it. But yeah, on that multitasking and
Right.
on the multitasking, I can only have like 3 outstanding issues going on, like I need to call so and so and I need to get this taken care of and some other thing to get taken care of. I mean, they're not big giant things, but they are for me. But my frustration is, Karen, you look so great. I don't notice there's anything wrong. And just, it's so tiresome. That part is just really tiresome of having to explain it over and over and over and over. And people saying, well, everybody forgets stuff. And no, no, no. And you seem fine. I'm not fine. And that is just so frustrating. And actually, I am like Frank. I do live on sunshine, but I'm also of a culture where we complain. And so I I saw on Friday night, I went to synagogue services because it was in person, and I'm with a walker. I'm the only person there with a walker, and it's not a huge congregation. And I saw someone, I've never met her. I've only seen her online, and we're both like, "Oh, you." And she's saying, "You look great. You look much better than on the screen." So I'm just telling everybody, I really look good in person. So, and and I said, "Well, I get tired of hearing that, because I'm really not okay." And then she said, "It's okay, if you don't feel okay." And so I came to the epiphany, no, I feel okay, but I'm not okay.
I feel
I,
okay enough. I'm
yeah,
okay enough.
yeah, but I'm not okay. And people need to, it's just like, oh, well, it must be hard having a walker. It's like, I'm getting more and more out there with people. Yeah, having a walker, having blurry vision, having a paralyzed right hand, having a paralyzed right leg, um, yeah, having sleep disturbance, having trouble controlling bowels and bladder. But, I suppose that's not a problem. I'm okay.
Yeah.
The invisible.
And this thing about working, I will say, I was looking through some emails just the other day, and it was a job I had probably 10 years ago, and I was just jaw dropped to go, wow, I was like so on it. I was so smart. I can like, wow, oh my God, I could do all these things. And so I kind of fell out of work. In a way, I wish I was diagnosed sooner, so I would have been on disability and not spend all my savings just trying to cope. But
Yeah.
it just really takes a toll on your brain. And even though you seem okay and I could be really focused and I write really well, so people are like, "Oh my God, you're right." But I document. I have to dictate because I can't write anymore, and I do document, and I'm just telling people more and more about what's going on because I'm just tired of them thinking, well, I was like, can you send us a check to can you send us a check? That probably would be the simplest thing. Well, before I was a member, I used to be able to use PayPal, but no, now you have this new program and I got to join a new pay portal with a new super password. And I'm not having it. I'm not going to do that. I am not going to alter my habits. So I'm glad I'm writing all this because I wouldn't remember that I wrote it. It's like, I'm not going to alter. I'm not going to get another password for another fiscal thing. I'm not going to change my fiscal habits because everything you do when you have MS it matters. You have to constantly think, am I going to fall? Am I going to hurt myself? Am I going to forget, how to, I have my own little financial management system. It works for me, well, why don't you get someone to have, no one is ever going to do for you. I thank you, Jennifer. You said that last time. No one's ever going to do for you what you could do for yourself. It's just never going to be that. And it's really frustrating. And then I wanted to bring up, so I go to this gathering, and they had to check your status, blah blah blah. And I'm standing outside, and somebody I know comes up to me, and he says, "Do you want to use the handicap access?" Or we're not supposed to use that word, the wheelchair access. And then I said no, but it would help me if you can get the walker up the stairs. Well, this has happened to me a lot. And he goes, okay. Well, he takes the walker, and I'm like 3 steps away from the handrail.
Yeah.
That happens to me a lot. Oh, sure, I'll take your walker. It's like, but I
Yeah.
need some help. I need some help. And then somebody came over, and I don't, I'm not from the Midwest. I don't think I have to be nice. And, this guy is like the president of the board. He's been around. He came up and he asked me what I want, and I told him I'm comfortable with him. So then this other woman walks up to him right in front of me and says, maybe she wants to use the access ramp. And I bet you get that a lot in a wheelchair. I'm like, I just have a walker. And I said, maybe she could speak for herself because, she's standing right here.
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't want to use the wheelchair around because it would take longer to walk there. I do find myself being more of a bitch.
Yeah, it's yeah. Yeah, nothing is worse than when Dan and I go somewhere, and I love my husband, but when somebody talks to Dan about what I want, like, does she want chocolate ice cream? Or what
Oh,
kind
geez.
of what kind of this does she like? And I'm like, dude, I'm right here. I can speak. Jennifer can talk. You know, and that's where that can be one of my biggest frustrations, and I'm sure we all deal with it, but it's just I don't yeah, it's frustrating. I think, Kim, you're gonna have your hands full with our program on August 31st. I think we all have so many chips on our shoulders. And I know Rick dropped something in the message board about how we can all sign up. So
I'm all
we
registered.
go, John, a star on your forehead.
I am
And
too. Yeah.
If you're not
Dave,
able to attend that night because 8 p.m. Eastern time is too late for you, or you're just having a bad day, we will, if you're registered, they will email you the link of the recording afterwards. Give them, a couple days, and it will be posted, I think, on our website too. But when you have that email and you register, then you're like, oh yeah, they had this webinar. I totally forgot. It happens. I have to show up because I'm part of it, but the MS brain sometimes is tough.
yeah, and are you going to take questions before the webinar, Kim?
I think I haven't talked to Alexa, but so the questions are open the entire time. I think she's doing like a 30-minute presentation, and then we'll open up to Q&A, and that can just go anywhere and anywhere with mental health, and I think it's going to be an amazing conversation. So come ready to talk about mental health, and I think she's also going to give us a lot of ideas about like self-life. What did we talk about? Guys, it was hours ago. It's like self-efficacy and like resilience, and I think it's going to be a great way to like, oh, okay, I have tools to help me deal with this coping of constantly my MS is changing, so I'm back into coping with the grief again and trying to figure it out, and then I got it figured out, and then something changes, and I'm back in grieving again, and it's just really important to discuss it all because it's just we talk about anxiety and depression, and we'll talk about that too. But just, I think a lot of people, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but a lot of people that come in here, it seems like the struggle is I'm having a hard time adjusting. I'm having a hard time, what I was like before this came and after. And I think it's just so important to go. You can. There are things you can do. Um, you know. Um, you do have types of control over some aspects of it. I know it's sometimes really hard to hear, but you can learn to go with the flow and just kind of navigate with it. So I'm excited about it. I'm super excited about it. I think it was your topic, Jen. You're the one that came up with the topic. I'm
Well,
pretty sure Jen was the one that came up with the topic, guys. So credit.
You
well,
know, honestly, if Louie and I could give a talk about just quitting your job, just how good that kind of feels.
I'll buy the first drink for anybody who wants to like coming up to Michigan, Louie. I know that's a little bit of a hike for you, but you come to Michigan, I'll buy the first drink. We'll just quit our jobs together.
Any excuse to travel, and I am down.
Uh,
We talked about a long time ago about we should actually have, when it's not as crazy, about getting together and having AnCan convention with all the different groups, and then we can break out into our separate groups to meet all the other. I think that'd be so much fun. So I would like to make that happen someday. I got to meet Jen and Dan last year. I think it was last year. And then Christy's not on tonight. When I was in Colorado, I got to meet Christy. And so, yeah, it's really fun to meet everyone in person.
yes. And John, you're not that far away. We should make that happen.
Yeah, I know. I'm feeling a lot better about getting out around back in the world again.
Yes.
So absolutely.
Yeah,
I
it's
got
good.
sick of being a shut in.
Yeah, and it's good that you're getting out.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. We're getting our winter deck on Saturday. So
Uh,
not a deck out like through the front where it's all gonna be snowy and icy, but one through the garage.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
then I can just get in sideways and I'll be a-okay.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, remember just a couple months ago, I was like, oh my God, I want to get the frick out of this place.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
having conversations with the mailman for 2 hours. So where have you been today?
Yeah. So there's like a few of you that are new to the group tonight. Were there any questions or anything more that you wanted to talk about? Mike, Victoria, Lisa, not to single you out, but I have a tendency to do that.
Again, I'm just really excited to be here and just among other people. Like the reason I'm shaking my head all the time is like, oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. Like, when everybody's talking about not being able to multitask, like every night before I go to bed, I make a list of what I have to do the next day. And I literally, the first thing says, take AM meds, take PM meds. Like I've been doing this for years because I literally feel like my mind is all over the place. Like I was the queen of multitasking and I feel like I can't concentrate on shit anymore.
Mhm.
And then I just like go and play games on my phone because reality sucks. Things
Oh,
that I have to do, like, oh my God, how am I going to pack this? How am I going to do that? Am I going to sell this? Like, everything is like questions and up in the air. And I used to be like, boom, 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 regimented and like had my shit together. So I feel like I've become this other, like an airhead almost. Like, oh, did I do that? Oh, wait, did I? You question yourself on everything. Like, it's just. I met somebody the other day at my niece's baby shower who has MS, and this lady said to me, you have to say goodbye to the old you. That person is gone.
Yeah.
You can't constantly reflect on the person that you were pre-MS. Like that person's not there anymore. And it like kind of resonated with me because that's where a lot of my anger comes from because I'm my harshest critic. Like I know what I used to be able to do and what I can and can't do now. Like that just is frustrating as hell. And she's like, you have to just like bury that person. They don't exist anymore.
But you can't just completely ignore. I was
Yeah.
really reluctant to find an MS support group because I happened to go to a party, I guess in 2019, and there was somebody in a wheelchair, and I really found myself like, I don't want to sit next to her, because I could feel like what's going on. Where I did before. I've always had disabled friends, but I noticed I don't want to go sit near that woman in the wheelchair. I don't want that to be me. And
I might
it
catch
turned
it.
out she had. Say that again, John.
I might catch it.
Well, no, it wasn't that because it was more just I had to go there with a cane and there was a lot of broken cement and then I got there and it's just a big party somebody was having outside and I go there and then someone goes, "Why are you using a cane?" Screaming at me and it's like I
Oh my
didn't come
God,
to the
yes.
party to explain why I'm using a cane. And
You have to
I'd asked
explain
someone
yourself
when I left.
everywhere.
Yeah, and I asked someone, when I left, "Can you walk me to my car?" That was new. That was in 2019. But now I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? The train has left the station. About this woman with the wheelchair. So it turned out she had MS. I sat next to her anyway. I just noticed I didn't want to, but I sat next to her anyway. And it turned out she had MS. And then she told me there was a support group. Like literally, I live in a residential neighborhood, literally less than a mile from my house. There's nothing around my neighborhood. Like the pool is nearby, but it's just like up the hill. I would have been able to walk up the hill. It's that close when I was able to walk. So I went to that, and I think I talked to her a couple of times before or during the meeting, and it was a very small group. But she said to me, "Don't talk about what you used to do." Well, I found that like a straitjacket. I mean, it's true, Lisa. Yeah, you can't be that person that you were. But to just don't talk about it, it'll just depress you. As I
Yeah.
keep losing more and more function, I just, so then I was really shy to even find it. So I go, is that the MS way? Don't talk about it. Don't talk about what you've lost. It's like you need space for that. That's a question, Kim, for the mental health people. Is it okay to,
I
you
was
know,
just going to say that, Karen, you need to come and ask that question because that is an excellent question. And I talked to her very briefly about that, how our society, we have this small range of acceptable emotions, but human emotions are pretty expansive. And I come from the field, you got to feel your feelings, you got to feel it to heal it to a certain extent. So I think it's important to mourn, like, okay, I can't do this anymore, but I'm still like myself. Like the essence of who I am is still the same. Yeah, I can't do certain things, but there's so many, my personality, I'm still as goofy as I was before, guys. The
Yeah.
goofiness didn't go away once I got MS. It's still here. It's still here. So,
I'm good. Don't ever lose that.
oh, that's my sense of, John will agree with me. That's my biggest coping mechanism is having a sense of humor.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
huge for me. Absolutely
Yeah.
huge.
If I wasn't able to laugh about it, oh my gosh, because I mean, that would just be denying who I am.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I think I'm probably one of the most hilarious people in the world.
And we all know that laughter is the best medicine.
Yeah. I'm also super modest. Very modest.
Yes, you are. Right.
Very
I don't like to
modest.
brag. I don't want to brag, but
Yeah, not to brag, but I got a lot of really good awards at Harvard for being, the most like held back, like introspective.
Uh-huh.
I didn't
John, I keep thinking I
I
need
didn't
to
go to
be
Harvard.
like a stand-up comedian, and then right away it's like, okay, so these guys do this at late at night, so this is like totally not, if they're doing it like 11 in the morning, great time for you, but like 10 o'clock, 11, 1 o'clock in the morning, not gonna be your ideal time to try to tell a joke when you're like punchy and dead to the world.
Mhm.
Does anyone else
So,
have that like feeling they need to be like you need to be a
oh,
comedian somewhere, like you
oh,
need to go on stage
yeah.
and bomb and like are you in that? Okay, we got to work on this, John. We got to start working on our
So,
material, bomb together.
so in my former life or whatever,
don't
um,
talk about it. It's depressing.
oh no, it's great.
That's
I
like,
was the I was the MC of a burlesque troupe, and then
Nice.
also the leadman of a pretty popular band. And I've
wow.
always wanted to put together a tight eight. Just 8 minutes of good jokes, get it on stage, like Kim said, just bomb.
Like
Like,
like how do you talk about MS to people that don't have an MS and make it funny? Like that's what I'm working on. Like how do you make it where I can get them to laugh and like express my vulnerability, but then like make it fun and interesting. So it's like a PSA announcement, but in a fun way about MS. Does that make sense?
yes, it does, but why do you have to bring up MS? You're doing a comedy act.
I know, but it's just like the comedy that I'm experiencing usually has to deal with MS. Like,
I
that's
gotcha.
like that's where the humor comes in. Like, suddenly, my eye, I just went blind in my left eye, but here I am screaming around on an e-bike or,
Yeah,
just random, like I feel like that's the thing that would be fun to talk about. But how do I do it in a
I don't know.
relatable way?
I walk around and look like I'm drunk, but I don't get the joy of the drunkenness from it.
Kim, Kim, write a bit about how like diapers don't have cool logos on them for adults.
But girl
Like,
diapers do, John. I meant to tell you. They do
yeah,
have really pretty, they go, here, these are pretty, and they're discreet, and they have different designs.
but
Flowers.
are they for men my size?
No,
No.
that's the problem. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
because men are boring, I guess. I don't know. It's like, what?
I want Superwoman underwear.
Tidy whities.
Right.
And then if they're not white, they're gray. Like, how sad.
Ew.
I was old, so I feel younger and look good when I'm walking.
Yeah, like when I'm up and around and I'm wearing one, like it's just really obvious that I am.
Brave. Yeah.
So I guess then, okay, I'm a couple things. Tim, you need to tell the story. John, that's your new job in entrepreneurship as you're there in the greater Big Rapids area. You need to develop a plan for awesome men's underwear.
Yes.
I mean, that it's not there and they say they don't make it. That's your opportunity right
That's
there.
right. Yep.
That's my $2 idea
Unmet
that I will.
market.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shark
I've been
Tank is for you.
Shark Tank is for me. Oh my gosh. I'll
Yeah.
yeah, I've
I'll go
I've
in
been
and when I sell the whole business or give away my
Go to work
portion
on
for money. Don't work
Yeah.
with Mark Cuban.
go
No.
to
Don't
work
work with Mark
on the
Cuban.
business plan. Go to work on the business plan.
Yep.
that's one thing I
I
loved about assistant like devices and stuff now. Before they were very medical, and now one of the things my friend had to do is like I had to pick which color I wanted my wheelchair to be, or they have funky canes. Like I love that they've been bringing like art and design versus just like okay, you just get the just that boring metal look and that's it. So it's coming along slowly, but I think you need to work on boosting parts of that, John, on all the areas because some areas need developed in.
I thought of the idea of cane sleeves to match outfits.
That would be
Ooh,
nice.
I
Nice.
like
Ooh.
that, Lisa. That's a
Like
great
Stylish
idea.
fun, like Ed Hardy, all sorts of like metallic, bedazzled, whatever, kind of like fun stuff.
it would be
That's
like
That'd
a
be
a
a
bougie.
great
Purple, but that's
Etsy store
bougie.
idea, Lisa.
Yeah.
People sew those.
I have a purple cane, but when the neurologist suggested one with a wider, like four-prong foot on it, the one that I use has 4 feet on it, but it's small. The one that the neurologist suggested was just like ugly, plain silver, medical grade ugly. And I was like, there's got to be a way to make these cool. So, yeah, that was my 2 cent idea.
I I have a friend that wears an ostomy bag. I'm like, you need like a little cozy for that.
Mhm.
Like
Yes.
something that
They
will help
make they
you.
make things like that. They do.
Yeah, yeah. It's the same idea.
Yeah.
All right, so everyone here will get your cut.
Okay.
You'll all be consultants, and we'll have a once a year get together um, for whatever whoever ends up buying it.
Mhm.
So I'm going to read to you this little thing. I wrote this big diatribe when somebody said, it would be easy to send a check. And I was like, yeah, it would be easy to send a check if I didn't have a paralyzed right hand. It's not just a matter of writing the check, but then there's addressing the envelope. And then there's putting a notation in my checkbook. But you know what? I found an envelope, a self-addressed stamp envelope with the address for a donation. So I could just stick my check in there. And that, like, it's like, okay, I'll write the check. But then I just went on this big thing and I said, so Karen says she can't write. She definitely can't type. She's essentially a left-handed person with a right-handed mentality. And often the left hand simply cannot do the tasks of a previously well-trained right hand. But at least in my case, the right hand does know what the left hand is doing, unlike most organizations.
Nice.
Nice.
Um, to put a diatribe on top of Karen's, imagine growing up left-handed and having to use all right-handed stuff growing up.
Yeah.
Man, there's an actual statistic that says that 1,500 left-handed people die each year from using right-handed tools or like stuff like that. Yeah.
Hmm.
I believe it.
Like I can't run a chainsaw. No, that's dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even way back when.
Yeah, I
Well, how
think
about
after third
left-handed
grade, they
guitar?
So I play guitar right-handed. I throw right-handed. I golf and hockey right-handed, but I throw darts, eat, and disc golf left-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a genetic freak.
Uh, Yeah.
I do have to say something. I was really
Yeah.
proud of myself. I taught all 3 of my kids to drive. They all have their licenses now.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Yay.
I was super excited. They're all graduated and they all have their license.
It's a good accomplishment.
Single mom right here. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Does that make your life easier then or harder?
No, well, the last one was actually my oldest one. She'll be 24 next month. And Autumn, she wants my car all the time. So it's like, because my car is a 2007 Chevy, because I'm a Chevy girl, Cruise. And so she feels badass in it. And I was like, so does mommy. So she could drive herself to work, and which is good because midnight is really hard for me to take her to work and try to go to work myself the next morning. So it's kind of easier, but it's kind of like, ugh. Get your own car.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a little easier because she could drive now, especially to get milk.
Yeah, I was going to say.
That's nice.
Nice.
So yeah, that was a huge accomplishment.
That is major, especially if it makes your life a little easier.
It does. And my oldest son, I have to share this too. He lives in Louisville with my twin brother, and he just passed his firefighting test.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good things. So I just had to share.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah. Well, we're getting close. We're getting close to 10 o'clock, and Dan and I are party poopers. I'm more of a party pooper. But before I don't want to like put everybody to sleep or something, but our next meeting will be on the 23rd of August. Same time, same way that you got here, but before, if we're like getting close to the end of the meeting, is there anything anybody didn't bring up that would like to discuss or anything? I know that there was talk of a Gandalf cane that got a little interesting. I think our Abagio patients really have some things in common.
See, that's one of the side benefits that they don't tell you about Abagio. Makes you a genius instantly. I mean, before this, I was a blabbering idiot. I took one Abagio. There it is.
Genius. Brilliant.
And he has twins, and I'm a twin. See?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Dad of twins, just like a regular dad, only cooler.
Louie, are you thinking of switching to Abagio?
Yeah, I decided 2 minutes ago. I'll go ahead and see if that helps anything.
I might have to switch if my infusion goes to kaput, so we'll see.
Yeah.
It's only $8,000 for 30 pills. You're good.
It's only $8,000 a month, so that's 80. So that's like under 100. That's still cheaper than mine. That's under 100 grand a year. I'm doing like 100 and was it 28,000 now per infusion times 2? So yeah, I'm already like half price.
See, it's a win-win situation. It's a bougie name. Why
I
not?
guess I'm going to Abagio if this service thing doesn't work out because they don't want me come to infuse.
I can imagine a like early 90s like perfume commercial, like Abagio, and it's just like cutting to different things, like people doing the different poses. Yeah, absolutely.
Vogue.
Yep. And then at the end it just says like Abagio. It's like really nice and slow.
I've been practicing the hair twirl, the hair toss, so I could do it. Let's do it.
I've been practicing the hair toss too. We'll get it. We'll make it happen.
Yes.
I got mine cut last week because it was covering my eyes down to about here.
Oh, it's mine
Like,
in the next county.
yeah, my beard could touch.
So it sounds like we need to create a new company for us that have quit our jobs called the MS Brain Trust and start working on all these ideas. I love
I
it.
I trust my brain. Oh, by the way, my haircut. I went to Sports Clips, and they just moved a chair out of the way so that I could wheel in and be in front of the mirror and stuff. Super accommodating, without a question.
That's very nice.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording, and then anyone who wants to party longer can stay on.